another video! My name's the Big A, and this is Planet Coaster. Today, I'm going to be telling you how to make amazing buildings and scenery. So, before we start, I just want to give a credit to these graphics right here. The realism added to this game is extraordinary. It's like second real life, but it can get laggy from time to time. And when you're playing over 200 hours, it may crash. So, that's that. So we're going to be talking about the controls, buildings, and scenery, how to make them look good, and how to move with your controls. The controls are pretty basic, so let's start with that. So, the obvious controls are WASD to move forward, behind, AD for left and right. You can also use the arrow keys, which is also optional. I kind of use both. You kind of need your mouse sometimes, so I prefer WASD, but if you like to, you can use the arrow keys. Next, to turn this way or that way, you can use Q and E. These help you turn so you can look at things from a different angle. Took me a while to figure it out, but you guys are in luck. You don't have to have a while. You only have 20 minutes to figure it out. Actually, just around 2 minutes. So, that's that part. Now, let's go into the different formation of moving. You might be saying, like, what? How is there a different formation of moving? Well, if you press the T key just once, then you can move in a totally different controlled area. So, I'm pressing S and I'm going back and up. And then I press W, I'm going down and forward. If I press Q and E this time, I go up and down, which is also pretty cool. So, that's those controls. You can also scroll in and out to go forward and back. Alright, let's start with the scenery. The scenery is pretty basic. You'll start off like this, pretty much. Alright, I want you to go to the scenery tab and open that up. Once it loads and opens, you'll see these trees up in front and these rocks. These things right here are because of the adventure pack. It's a thing you have to buy as an extra to the game. It's pretty simple placing these down. If you really like something, like, oh, I like this, then you can place it down in your park. But if you really like it and want to save it for later, you can click this little star here. Then, if I open up here, it will be right there. I actually really like this, so there we go. Let's open up more scenery. You can click on more filters to see which theme you want. Always go on scenery theme if you want a certain theme. All of these prop type and maybe nature is important, but scenery theme is basically the most important. It basically sorts out all of the stuff for you. So if I wanted fairy tale stuff, there we go. Festive stuff, you get the idea, right? Sci-fi stuff, I am really impressed of how much sci-fi scenery there is in this game. You can also press special effects, but looks like sci-fi doesn't have any special effects. So, in the special effects, there's another little sidebar right here. This is fire, this is water, electricity, ambience, fireworks, and custom. Remember, this MISC always means custom. Here's the audio, like different speakers, cameras for security, and screens. Don't play around with these yet. They're a bit advanced, let's say. but you can just play a movie on this screen. It's basically amazing. But this, it's just a backdrop. It's not really a screen. It's a backdrop for a ride. We'll get into that later. You can really play around with the tabs and make it really the best park you can. Now let's go into the building tab. You don't need to close the scenery tab. You just go into the building tab. The scenery tab won't be open. However, whatever piece you have won't get rid of your mouse touch. So, if I already have another piece open from the scenery tab, and I'm going into the building tab, then that scenery piece that I selected will still be here. That makes sense, right? In this building tab, you'll mostly be guided like this. In here, you might see a little bit of walls and boring stuff, really. But those all come in handy. It helps you build stuff. Yes, build stuff. Shops and facilities are right here. It helps you build buildings, basically. Like station bays, pretty much anything you want. Now, when you open favorites, it's basically the same thing with the scenery. These are all my favorites since I've been playing this for a long time. But when you open it up, it won't have this many things in it. I just have a lot of experience with the game, so I like all these. That's how I favorite them. It's really the same. This should be empty too, because you never really saw, you never really used anything. That's what I'm trying to say. You can also pick the more filters in this group as well. There are four new things here. Wall height, wall and roof types, building set, and building material, which is pretty cool. But these are the roofs. We'll save this for later. This is how you basically build in the game. I'll make a really rough demo to show you guys. We can go into wall pieces to see all the different kind of exotic wall pieces. Let's just choose a random one. How about this gingerbread wall? Sounds yummy, doesn't it? It actually doesn't look like gingerbread at all, but you can still use it. Now let's say if I want to make a tunnel. You can place this just like a scenery would. And if you really, really want to be precise, then you can press X. I just pressed one button and I have all these different moving axes. So as you can see, I can move, rotate it in any angle I want. But really, I don't recommend playing with this system rotate. As you can see, it's taking me a long time to make it straighten up. It doesn't take that long, though. You just have to fiddle with it until you actually get it right. Though be warned, these walls can only be used as walls. So you can't use these as pieces of scenery, really. Pieces of scenery are for pieces of scenery. You can also add to a building. Like, if I accidentally click done here, I'm done with that piece, right? Oops, how do I get back? Now I have this. Now I have to exit until it's at the very correct spot. Actually, you don't have to do that. Just press X here. You don't have to press X, but I like to. And you can just press edit building, or R. And then the next piece that you set right here any piece you want will be right next to it. Perfectly right next to it. Now let's say I wanted the roof to cover this. Roofs are kind of hard, but I'll walk you through it. You can go to roofs, and I didn't really need any pitched roof, except for coaster base. You can use pitched roofs if you want. It's really no problem. But let's check it with flat roofs, the most basic thing. Let's go with the first option. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you always get notified with every video. Now, as you can see, it's on the bottom here. How do I raise it? Just press shift. You can press shift to move it up and down. You can also change the height it's limited to. Right now it's 2 meters. I can set it to 0.25 meters. Then I can set it for like this. It really gives you specific amounts. Now if I place it, sometimes when you press shift, you have to press shift again to get out of it. So whenever that happens, you can just right click anywhere, really, and then click on that piece you just clicked. And then do Control D or duplicate. Control D. Then that exact piece will be right there. Will be right there where you want it to be. Pretty cool, right? You can also add this. This looks also pretty cool. It also gives cool sound effects, which I like. We can delete this by now. It doesn't really look that good, as you can see. You can also change the colors of the wall pieces you're using, which is pretty cool. Right now, it's right here. It's an overview. Now over here, well, looks like we can't change the color of this, but for most of these, you can. See, like look at this. I have different sorts of colors and I can change it. When you press on the color, you have many different colors and shades to choose from. So, really have fun with these building things. When you really want to save, stuff, you can. So as you can see here, I have a lot of these. Now these are blueprints of different things that I created in the past. We don't need to look at these. But what these blueprints do, they save whatever building you have. You can also use it for scenery, but I really use building stuff. Alright, let's just make a blueprint here. And then let's just make this simple, shouldn't we? If it appears to be annoying, just let it be annoying. You can do Control Z to undo any action. Alright, right click, and then click, and then close the building tab. Then it will let you give the building as a whole. Then you can see the same symbol as you see here. Click on that, and you get a little you get a little thumbnail for your blueprint. So, now if we want a blueprint for our building, we're gonna have to name it. This was very confusing for me at first to create the blueprint because there's nothing here. How can you create it? It was very confusing, but we'll get to that in a bit. First, name it. I don't really care what it names. I don't really care about the description either. And then it's really, really tiny and really, really hidden. But if you go all the way down here and you just go all the way to the bottom, you'll see a little blue bar pop up. Click that. Click that. And we have to add tags, it seems like. Whatever, drink shops. And then we can just click create blueprint. Now, the next time you go into my blueprints, it'll appear right there. It's for $50, it looks like. So this is how you can make and save these kind of things. That's really all I have for you guys. Wait, no, that's not. I almost forgot. So, when you pop up in the shops and facilities, the last genre of our video, when you pop up in this window, you see many different blueprints. You can go to custom, or you could click one of these. I highly recommend custom. Now these will let your people, guests, eat, drink, go to first aid, hotel, I don't know what that does yet, so restaurants, park entrance gate, which is right there, and bathrooms, and vending machines, which is insane. Really experiment with this. And whatever building tab you open up and you want to add a shops and facilities to that building, just let me just show you guys. Alright, let's just put a wall here. And then we open up the shops and facilities tab. Now, it should get rid of the blueprint, right? Nope, it doesn't. Then we can put a first aid wherever we want. And it will automatically connect with the path. Now you can put as many shops as you want. And you can really cover it up and look really nice. There's really no limits to this game, like I said in other episodes. If you really wanted to make look like a restaurant without using the restaurant thing in the game, which I really actually do, it's pretty easy. So, one thing I forgot to mention, you can go here, where is it? Oh, here, paths. You can go to paths to add more paths. So let's say here, let's add a path here. Sometimes these paths can be a bit funky, which is understandable. But if we click select grid and select the bottom of this grid and click it, now we have a path piece lining up with the grid. And as you can see, it doesn't make any holes in the paths. So it's a really useful tool I use for restaurants. It's a perfect circle and a perfect square, I guess. That's really it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click that subscribe button and smash that like button. And be sure to check out my other episode that will get into coasters about this. Coasters and rides. And track rides. We might even get to another one in controlling your park. To make it look really good and make this green and make this green. Thank you for watching this video. As again, I'm signing off. Please enjoy all of my videos and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in another one. Bye.